Basically, we read the book and we fell in love with the hook. This premise, what would you do if you found out that your child was not your own? These 2-3-year-old sons were swapped at birth. That happens at the very beginning of the book. We all moved our lives down to Cornwall. We knew each other a little bit before. James and I were at drama school together. Jessie and I were old friends. So it was lovely to be able to call up your mates and be like, do you want to come and have an adventure in Cornwall?
Yeah.
James realised quite early on that we looked like ABBA, the four of us. There's like a blonde couple and a brunette couple. And we went dressed as ABBA at Halloween. And anyway, we just had the best. That's a side note. I don't know.
Got to tell you one more thing before you go. You may be pleased to hear I have dropped out of the race for the next Bond.
You have?
Yes. Just I don't know where that puts you, makes you feel about it, but I've decided I've got too much going on.
I did hear the rumours were true. I am reassured. Well,
I've got too much going on.
Virgin Radio.
Big intro, please.
Everybody adores our next guest, whether he's a rural vicar or one of the most evil characters who's ever been inside our telly. He's now a doting dad in Playing Nice, which continues this Sunday at 9 on ITV. So here comes an interview we won't want to shorten. Welcome, James Norton!
Let's hear it for James Norton! Yeah! All right, Tilly, calm down. Thank you.
Thanks, Tilly.
Woo, Tilly. She was levitating there for a while, wasn't she? Hand in the air like she just don't care. Or maybe she cares a little bit too much. James, Playing Nice job.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Thank you.
What a good show. I didn't realise it was your show.
Yeah. It was my first show I've produced out of this new company I have called Rabbit Track. Yeah,
right.
So it's a big one for me.
So
yeah.
for people who don't know, it's been adapted from a book. You buy the rights to the book and then you hope for the best.
Yeah, kind of. It was the very first book we optioned. I set up a company with an amazing producer called Kitty Koletsky, and this was about 4 years ago. And it was the first book we read in the first week of being a partnership. And I was shooting a film in upstate New York, and we were kind of young and green. And she said, "You have to be awake at this time." And because of the time difference, it meant I was awake at 3 a.m. in the morning. 3 days I had 3 days to read the book, and we were full of enthusiasm and naivety and energy. And for some reason, JP Delaney came
right.
with
So
us.
you should be really good at pitching this story, because you pitched the story to the author and they gave you the rights to the book, or the publisher or whatever, and that's all fascinating how that works. So and there were lots of other production companies, film companies, vying for the rights to the book, and they chose you. How come?
We'd have to ask the author. I think we went with instinct. I mean, basically, we read the book and we fell in love with the hook. This premise, what would you do if you found out that your child was not your own? These 2-3-year-old sons were swapped at birth. That happens at the very beginning of the book. And I think I've learned since, if you love the material, you have to sit with it for years.
Yes.
You have to build and develop. And we just fell in love with that particular
hook. All right,
so
give us, I mean, I've seen all 4 episodes. They do not disappoint. They're also different to each other, which is what I really love about each episode. Yeah. I mean, you can't pause for breath. I didn't yesterday. You get the thing called sleep apnea. I got Playing Nice apnea. I forgot to breathe for 4 hours, more or less. So what's the story?
Bring your oxygen tank. So the story is 2 couples who find out that their 3-year-old sons were accidentally swapped at birth.
Yes.
That's the beginning of the story. And what happens is the kind of fallout from that, the psychological drama, the trauma. Initially, the couples try and sort of play nice through the kind of hence the title, exactly. And what you soon realise is that one of the couples, the father in particular, has different intentions, and it turns into what was initially quite a polite and civil situation into a vicious, dark.
So you're one of the dads?
I'm one of the dads, yeah.
Okay, and you cast yourself as the nice dad?
I did. Well, yeah.
Why not? Why wouldn't you?
No, exactly.
But also James McArdle, who plays the nasty dad.
So good.
He scared the granny out of me.
Yeah, he's so good because he doesn't play the villain. He's so charming. Also, he's just a nice man. I mean, you can tell he's having the best time. He's so delicious.
But he is the smiling assassin the whole way through, isn't he?
Yeah.
So your couple, you are Miles and Lucy, and Lucy's played by the wonderful Niamh.
I'm Pete and Maddie.
Sorry, Pete. You're Pete and Maddie.
Yeah.
Maddie's played by the wonderful Niamh Algarve, who was on the show yesterday with Ryan.
Yeah.
By the way, everybody's awesome in this.
Amazing.
They have
Thank
to be,
you.
otherwise they're going to get found out. And
Yeah,
nobody gets found
yeah.
out because everybody is awesome. And then Miles and Lucy are played by James McArdle and Jessica Brown Finlay, who was in one of my favourite films the last few years. Something to do with the Guernsey Literary Society. Do you know that one?
Oh, yeah.
The Guernsey potato picking.
With Lily James.
Yes, with
Yeah,
Lily
I do know
James.
the film. Yeah.
She's all awesome.
All awesome. All awesome actors. The kind of material as well, you want that kind of actor on, because we loved it. Like we were really, really good friends. We we all moved our lives down to Cornwall because Cornwall's weirdly hard to get to because it's like a 4-hour train or a flight.
It's a long way away.
It's a long way, even though it is the same country. So we all kind of just relocated down there, and we all we knew each other a little bit before. James and I were at drama school together. Jesse and I were old friends. So it was lovely to be able to call up your mates and be like, do you want to come and have an adventure in Cornwall?
Yeah.
We moved down, and we had the best time. James realised quite early on that we looked like ABBA, the four of us. There's like a blonde couple and a brunette couple, and so we became ABBA. We became ABBA, and we went dressed as ABBA at Halloween. And anyway, we just had the best. That's a side note. I don't know why that's relevant, but we had the best
They're the
time.
kind of the answers to the questions you're too scared to ask.
Yeah.
I haven't asked them, but you just answered them anyway. That's great.
But anyway, this is all to say that we had an incredible time. We surfed every weekend. I went running up and down the cliffs.
So your character doesn't surf.
The first week we had a surfing lesson.
Right.
In answer to Vassos' question about did I write that scene, the getting in the water, because we both share a love for cold water swimming, both in this morning, I think. And so, yeah, we had this incredible surf teacher called Pete, who works for this company, King Surf. He is the ultimate kind of Cornish cliche, full of enthusiasm. Anyway, he started teaching us in the first week. That scene was shot after one lesson. In my defence, I am hopeless in that scene.
Don't worry about it. It's pretty good to me. James McArdle's character is supposed to be a great surfer, so he had the higher bar there.
But he didn't actually have to surf. It was only script. I don't know why. I developed that script. I should have written James a very complicated surf scene.
Now that's funny because I've watched all 4 episodes, and in my mind, he did surf really well, but he didn't surf at all.
No.
It's good storytelling. It's the beach you leave out, mate.
I don't know what James did to make you believe that. He did have a surf double, which was never used.
And also his character, he's so slippery, it's not funny. He's so insincere and inauthentic, it's not funny. He is chillingly cold. He's completely damaged. We find out why later. You've still got that to come, even though you've watched 2.5 episodes. As I say, it moves apace. And then there are these really clever bits of writing that just show you the nuances of his darkness and also the cliches that he's adopted to try and portray who he might be, but he really isn't that kind of person.
Yeah.
And we've all met people like that.
We have. This is what I love about the characters in this piece. And they do kind of, they're rooted in the book. He is the villain, of course. He's a brilliant, delicious villain, and I hate to comp my own work. This is awful, isn't it? But roles I've played in the past where the villain is rooted in humanity, far more interesting than a psychopath. And I don't think James McArdle is anywhere near the sort of psychotic. He loves his son. He wants both children. His actions are abominable, but what he plays beautifully, I think, is this malicious viciousness. But then you see him with the boys, and he has this incredible connection with his son.
Well, all 4 parents, both couples, they all want both boys, but for entirely different reasons.
Sure. Yeah.
But the couples want them for different reasons, and then the individuals within the couples want them for different reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you know, this is your show.
Well, exactly. So my character goes to this amazing journey, which is why I was really excited by that more kind of everyman role, because initially he thinks that the right way to sort of deal with this is to sort of play nice, step back. It's that kind of modern man thing where it's like, I'm going to just make space for everyone else.
It'll be all right.
Okay, trust the world, trust people, see the best in the situation, and playing nice will prevail ultimately. And he realizes that actually, if you have a character like Miles, if you're facing that kind of manipulation, sometimes you've got to step up. And so they change tack and they start to fight.
Yeah, and if somebody is a ne'er-do-well, give them enough rope and they'll hang themselves. But you've got to find the rope.
Exactly.
Yeah. And he has trouble. He doesn't suspect there is a rope.
Yeah.
He's got to go and find it. And then he finds it. And I'm going too far, but there's no avail at some point there. And you think, because I thought that's where we're going. And then that doesn't happen, the thing that I can't talk about. It's so good, man. It's so good. So how long are you in Cornwall for?
So pleased. I'm so pleased you liked it. We were there for about 3 months.
Right.
Yeah.
Was that like the best?
The best. Because we were there off season. So we arrived in October and we had all the way till Christmas.
Yeah.
And Cornwall, when no one's there, is heaven. Because what happens is all tourists leave, and then the community who live there all the time, they reclaim it. So they kind of come out and And we were sort of indoctrinated through Pete, this incredible surf instructor. We just were allowed into this community, and every week we were surfing.
So when you and James were surfing in the water there, you had your wetsuits on, or your warm suits, or your dry suits on, or whatever they are. Now I've surfed in Cornwall in the summer; it's cold anyway. This was in the winter, but you still had the wetsuits on. Unlike poor Jessica and Neve, who had to go swimming in a Lido in normal swimsuits as if it was summer, and they did look really cold.
Yeah, that was cold. Actually, I was swimming in that Lido as well. Remember?
Yeah, no, I know
and it
you
was.
were.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just putting myself. I'm as hard as the girls as well.
You are. By the way, that's actually right. He just wants to make a point of
Competition.
this.
I know. It's true. I'm not being forgotten from that stoicism. Yeah, no, that Lido was freezing, and actually we had to. I think we shot that at the beginning, but maybe we went back.
But
anyway,
it still wasn't summer.
It's seawater. It's just water which crashes over the side of the. Yeah, so that was chilly. But Neve is as crazy. I mean, she's mad, and we were both swimming in the morning. I mean, that's us. You'd have been proud. We were swimming in the mornings in the dark.
Yeah.
I slipped down a harbour step, came into the makeup truck with like grazes all. I mean, it was quite. Well, if you're like cut from that cloth, Cornwall's a playground. It's heaven. I absolutely loved it.
So, as a producer, without getting too sort of show busy about it, behind the scenes show busy about it, it was different. It is different. And going forward, what have you learned? Because first of all, how do you leave Cornwall? I had trouble leaving there after a week. How do you leave there after 3 months? How do you now go on any other kind of TV show which you don't have a sort of producing role in, because it's just a different world. It's a different experience.
Well, you just try and shoot everything in Cornwall from now on, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so. Lots of people have tried that, haven't they?
Yeah.
Martin Clunes did pretty well there for a while.
He did.
Dawn French
Paul
moved
Isaac.
to Cornwall. Do you know that?
Did she?
Yeah, so Dawn French is from Cornwall anyway, I think, which is why she's the what is it when you're in charge of university but you're not in charge of university?
Chancellor.
I think she's the Chancellor of Exeter University, but that's because she's a Cornish girl anyway. And then she moved back to Cornwall, and then any TV show anybody wanted her to be in, she said has to be in Cornwall.
That's
and I
handy.
think that most of them are,
clever.
because she's Dawn French, and if that's what you're going to do together, that's what you're going to do.
Yeah. And there were good crews down there. We had a great community of filmmakers down there. We try and shoot everything in Cornwall from now on, I guess. No, we didn't leave. We didn't leave in 3 months. I came back once to London reluctantly. I stayed down there for 3 months. In terms of moving forward, I mean, we've got other bits and pieces. We've shot something in Iceland since, which was pretty special. Right. We shot that straight away afterwards, having wrenched ourselves out of paradise.
Iceland's pretty paradisical as well.
Iceland was special. We were there for about 5 months, top of last year.
Oh, gosh. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's called King and Conqueror. It was also a show which I produced. Kitty and I had this crazy year where we basically did our first TV shows back to back, which was very exciting and kind of ludicrous in hindsight. But it's called King and Conqueror, and it's about the Battle of Hastings. It's the 20 years leading up to the Battle of Hastings.
I've just got in touch with Yellowstone. And I wasn't at the Yellowstone party until I watched Landman, which for Yellowstone fans came afterwards. But I watched it first, ran out of Landman, and then went back to Yellowstone, of course, starring Kevin Costner.
Yes.
And Kevin Costner, and actors of his, his sort of time, his peers, because he's a producer as well, isn't he?
Right.
The difference between him and some of his peers. Do you know what that is going forward?
I hope you say it's the producing. What is it?
$300 million. Approximately.
Wait, what you mean? What he's getting?
That's the difference between, the kind of actors that have been in stuff that he's been in at his level, that carry on acting, as opposed to he who is acting and also producing the stuff he's in.
Yeah.
Which is he's in the new Yellowstoney thing, isn't he?
Kevin Costner?
Yeah, he's in this new thing because Yellowstone was such a hit.
Right.
And then something happened with him and the Yellowstone people. So there's 5 seasons of that. And then he thought, me and the cowboy thing does pretty well. I'll go and do that on my own. And he's done that now. And what is it, Jane? Horizon.
Oh, yes, I have.
That's pretty big.
I think if some actors love to just come on set. In answer to your first question, I have now since done another job called House of Guinness, about the Guinness family, and I wasn't producing. Wow. And I loved that, having been on the set where you're trying to wear too many hats, to watch the producers huddled in a corner freaking out about budget. I was just chill. I loved it.
And also you now have empathy with them.
I now have empathy with them. I don't want to know what they're talking about. I'm very happy for them to take that. And
you probably thought you had empathy before, but you didn't actually.
No idea. Empathy and respect, actually. It's producers, because you realise if you delegate well, producing is about surrounding yourself with good people. And if you surround yourself with brilliant HODs, they put out the fires themselves.
What's an HOD?
Head of department. Sorry, like a head of makeup designer.
Can we get one?
Oh. You're on your own HOD for one, but you put out the solve the problems in your department, and the unsolvable problems are thrown upwards, so the producers have to deal with that.
Yeah.
But they also develop these shows, so it's 4, 5, 6 years of work.
Forever, man.
Yeah. And you have to be the tenacity. You have to stick with it, and no guarantee that it's ever going to get made. Yeah. And also what annoys me as well, having now kind of ventured into this part of it, is that often producers are seen as uncreative. They're like the kind of money people, they're the grunt, they're sort of they're the engine. But actually, and I've learned this from Kitty mostly, it is the most creative role, because you're creating a world. You're literally sitting around a table going, okay, tone, character, engine, thriller, like how are we going to make this, well, A, have a path to production, but B, is going to get eyeballs and entertain people.
And every vintage car and every extra, another 200 quid here, another 200 quid there. How real do we need to make this scene? And then you watch other movies from other producers with bigger budgets, and they spend a $200, $300, $400, $500,000 on a 5-second shot of Grand Central Station or whatever. And you've been in those kind of movies, so you know all about this. So back to the plot. The plot is 2 couples have 2 young boys. They're 2.5 years old. They're exactly the same age because they were born on the same day prematurely in the same hospital, and somehow they got mixed up, and each couple went home with the wrong child, and this gets discovered after 2.5 years via a certain sort of spontaneous situation that comes up. Now, everybody asked, could this happen in real life? Does it happen in real life? Has it happened in real life? Is it based on a true story?
So it's not based on a particular true story, but yes, it does happen. It has happened. About a few weeks before our show aired, there was a story, I think two women in their 30s where they discovered that they were swapped. It's happened a lot over the, however many times, and I'm sure some are publicised and some aren't. It's happened enough for there to be loose guidelines on what to do at what age. So we read somewhere that under 2.5, it's suggested that you swap them back as quick as you can, because the psychological damage will be minimal. Yes. Over 3, again, loose suggestion that you leave them where they are, because it would be too damaging. Right. So the reason we picked 2.5 to 3 was that it was that very grey area where we're not quite sure what to do. But the fact that there are vague guidelines goes to show that it has happened a lot. But our story is not based on any particular true story. It's based on J.P. Delaney's amazing book.
Yeah, I mean, some people have said of this show, it's not true to life. But these people, I'm sure, have also seen Breaking Bad and The Sopranos.
What is the thing?
I don't know what the thing is. None of us understand it. I came in here thinking today, am I the odd one out? And they went, no. We all agree that this show is genuinely, not just because you just say, and by the way, we love having you on the show. We just think it's a marvellous show.
Thank you.
We truly do. Vassos, what would you like to talk about?
Well, Matthew, my 18-year-old son, and I, he was watching something dreadful, and I said, it really was. And I said, I need this television, but why don't we watch it together?
Yes, same. I had to watch it on the telly. The kids had to just move.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to watch it on the telly, and I enjoyed watching it on the big telly because of the sort of the Cornwall scenes, establishing shots of beautiful beaches. And we actually had to pause it.
It does get a bit Paul Dark in places, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And we actually had to pause it, and he said, how old would I have to be for you to want, if you found out that I wasn't your son, for you to want as well? And I went, well, I'd always want you to be my son. He goes, what about a week old? What about a week old? And we had that, and it makes you have those wonderful discussions. And he forced me, the reason I've only watched 2.5 episodes is because he had to go and pick up his girlfriend, and he said, you're not watching the rest of it without me. And I love the fact that he and I both, we've got something to watch together now. James, I very rarely look forward to watching
there a question anyway here?
The rest of this, but congratulations.
Thank you.
It is awesome.
Best question ever. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I think you're right. Like, there's a space for these type of TV shows because it brings people together. It's that amazing kind of moment when you're sitting on the couch with your family and you can all chew over it.
And as a dad, you're thinking, well, the dad's point of view is different from the mum's point of view. And whatever the dads may have in common, which is not a lot in this show, the mums will have more in common because they gave birth to the child. It's different for the mums.
It's that knotty psychological thing. And also, in good drama, now that I'm producing, you're looking for stakes, and there are no higher stakes than kids. Your family, either your parents or your children. They are the thing which you have that 4 a.m. anxiety about. So this, I mean, look, I don't want to push back. People who are finding it too much, it's drama.
Yeah, but also there are no higher stakes than kids, unless there are, which is also, there's drama within that as well, isn't there?
Unless there are, I don't know what you mean.
Well, because for some people, they may, because there's jeopardy in that as well. There may be higher stakes for some people than kids.
I see. Yeah.
And in there's a flavour of that in your show, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to have kids. Yeah. As in, everyone is the child of someone. So the relationship.
No. I'm saying in some sense, some it's happened in history. You know, people have put their kids way down the pecking order of the priorities in their lives.
This is true.
But that's your opinion coming through there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Eileen in Chesham. Good morning, because the team. I binge watched Playing Nice last night. OMG. It's a 10, just brilliant. I'm a big fan of James Norton anyway. Well, that does help. That does get you to the party, doesn't it?
Thanks, Eileen. Come back.
Abigail in Wintry Worthing, Monica's Vassals, the Thrilling Thursday team, and James. I plan to do housework this afternoon, but after hearing about Playing Nice, no housework is getting done today. We are playing nice all afternoon.
Great.
It's great, isn't it? What else would you like to say about the show?
What can I say about the show? I mean, I guess it's our first one, and the Cornish crew. I mean, Cornwall, go Cornwall. I mean, not too many people. We don't want to overcrowd it. But we were very, very lucky to have had this, great guy Pete. This thing called the Rhetoric Mill. We were invited in. That's where we dressed up as ABBA and went to a Halloween party. Right. So it was. I think the frisson, the energy, and the kind of chemistry you experience on screen was mostly to do with the fact that we were all there, kind of camped in together. That kind of like sort of a sports tour mentality, and that was because the Cornish community accepted us so wonderfully in open arms. So,
where have you been open to water swimming this morning?
In a pond, in a cold pond.
So you've been in a cold pond this morning?
Yeah.
So ambient outdoor temperature cold pond. So
about 5, 6.
Yeah, so 5 or 6 at the moment. Not icy here, icy elsewhere in the UK. It's actually got warmer here over the last 24 hours as opposed to the rest of the UK. Did you serpentine this morning?
I serpentine this morning.
What's the temperature?
At 4 degrees in the serpentine, 4.9 I think.
You're cold bros, aren't you?
Yeah.
I love it.
I absolutely love it. I would not start. I was thinking that this morning. I would not start the day any other way. I was so 5 a.m. I'm in a city of 9 million people. I'm on my own, right in the middle of it, in the water. Just great.
Yeah, I love it. Last time I came here for an interview, Vassos and I stood on the pavement and bonded over cold water swimming for about an hour. I didn't get away.
So
we love it.
Do you cold plunge, cold shower, and ice bath as well, or do you just leave it to the swimming?
I just swim. I swim all year round in temperature which isn't heated. So basically, it's in the summer it's much more temperate, but I do miss the cold.
What else do you do?
I cycle, run. I do a bit of everything. I know you guys are hardcore runners.
I'm not hardcore. He's hardcore. He's hardcore everything.
I think you're both pretty hardcore.
I'm trying to get to the battle ropes. Is what I'm trying to get.
This thing.
Yeah, of course that thing.
Right.
By the way, I'm glad just from that's there. I now know that you're not a battle rope. Yeah, exactly. Nor do I.
Yeah,
right?
thank goodness it's
battle
radio.
rope Barry over here goes to the gym. He came in the other day. He said I did 4 hours on the battle ropes in the gym the other day.
What?
To which my only response, James, was, but they're so long, so how much of the gym are you taking up for 4 hours needlessly? Say, look how long I can do the battle reps for. I am the battle rep Barry. And
I love it. But wait, what? I mean, usually on a kind of one of these machines, there are lots of different exercises. But in my head, battle ropes is one exercise.
That's what it is.
Up and down, up and down.
Just the waves with the ropes. Oh, look, here's the thing. I did it while my daughter was in gymnastics, and I thought I'll do it for a bit, and then I did it for 20 minutes. I did it for the whole hour,
and then I looked up. Most of the gym, other people are waiting to use all the other equipment. They're scared to go past him.
I did feel bad for the people in reception because it does make boom, boom, boom on the ceiling.
I am here. I am Vassos. I am battle rope Barry. I shall battle rope until somebody stops me.
So not only are you taking up a large section of the gym, but also you're annoying the people who are working or just on reception downstairs because the boom, 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 boom.
And so in our lives, James, we now have a thing called a flow rope in our house. A flow rope is something that you swing backwards as you're walking backwards to get your anterior chain to talk to your posterior chain, and it improves your posture, your pose, and actually when you then run forward, you get a better biomechanical movement anyhow. So he looks at my flow rope because very battle ropey.
Yep.
I'm like, no, it's just a rope. But he now sees every rope in the world as a battle rope. If Alex Honnold came in here from Free Solo and brought in his ropes, battle ropes. No, they're just ropes, Vassos.
Look. Battle rope Barry, straight back at you. You're at home. Okay, admittedly, you're not annoying people in the gym, but you're basically battle roping it up.
Yeah.
If you could see us right now, we're all telling. But isn't it just like one muscle group? Surely it hurts after about 5 minutes.
It does. A lot.
I don't get it. I have one rope in my house, and it's a hangover from when I was a children's party organizer. It was my tug of war rope, and that's all I have.
Very battle ropey, isn't it?
It is a big, thick rope.
Who doesn't love a tug of war, by the way?
There we are. Vassos is so excited right now.
You know why battle ropes are so easy to do for a long time?
They're not that easy to do for a long time, but carry on.
They actually are.
Because minimal effort, maximum sound, and
There's all that, right?
Yeah.
So there's the ego fuel. That's
Yeah.
all good. So he's on the E5, low ethanol, right? But also, the momentum in the ropes after the first swing comes back at you. And so they lend you their energy. So it's not even down to you. It's down to the ropes.
I mean, in terms of like gym space and time, you are taking up a huge. I mean, it's so inefficient.
Do you know what he also endorsed earlier on, James? I'd like your take on this, please. He thinks that if you go to a gym and leave your stuff in a gym locker overnight or all week, you know, when you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
He thinks that's all right.
No.
And I'm like, that's just not all right.
I don't think that's all right, and I don't do
Funny,
it. But
because you said it was all right. You said,
what I said was, I'm sort of okay with people doing it, because if that's the only way that they're going to get to the gym, I've never needed a locker space because there's always free ones. I'd rather they use that. If that's how they get
James,
to the gym, fine.
how is that him not endorsing it?
What my worry about that is the people who then put the gym kit back on.
Yeah,
when it's
exactly.
damp
And all
stinky.
that.
Yeah.
And what does it say about that person?
I don't mind so much the locker being used up. What I do mind is when I'm now back in the gym and someone's doing the battle ropes in front of me and they absolutely stink because they haven't dried their
the
clothes.
only thing worse than a battle rope Barry saying he's swinging the ropes and they're not swinging him. By the way, they are swinging him. Is a smelly,
Battle rope
2 or
Barry.
3 day old smelly locker hogger battle rope Barry.
Yeah, you know who you are.
I don't know how I suddenly became
Buy
a
the rights
locker
to that
hogger.
one, mate. Battle rope Barry must die too. James, thanks for putting up with us.
Not at all. I love it. I love it.
The show's great. Playing Nice continues to episode 3 on ITV this Sunday, episode 4 on Monday, but they're all available now on ITVX, and 2 episodes are available on Sky. It's fantastic. You're great. And I've got to tell you one more thing before you go. You may be pleased to hear I have dropped out of the race for the next Bond.
You have.
Yes, just I don't know where that puts you, makes you feel about it, but I've decided I've got too much going on.
I did hear the rumours were true.
Yeah.
I am reassured. Well,
I've got
thanks.
too much
Thanks,
going on.
Chris.
I've decided to step aside and leave the way for a younger man. It didn't go well with Top Gear. It was a very similar situation.
Okay, better get my battle ropes out then.
If I can't be the new Jeremy Clarkson, I definitely can't be the new Daniel Craig. By the way, James McArdle is in the TV version of Sexy Beast, isn't he?
He is the sexy beast.
He is the Sexy Beast.
James McArdle is one of the best actors this country
How
has.
good is the movie Sexy Beast for people who haven't seen it?
Amazing.
One
Of
of the
course,
great,
iconic.
one of the great films.
Iconic, yeah. I mean, I think his TV show is brilliant as well. I didn't watch all of it, but he is.
I haven't seen
such
any
a
of
good
it.
Actor. James McArdle is. I'm kind of wary of telling too many people because he's known, but I think So I say we were in the same year, same class at drama school, and we had the most incredible time. And I always knew he was this very special talent.
Who else was around then?
So so we had 3 classes in our year, so it's only about 12 people, and in our class there was Cynthia Erivo from Wicked, Phoebe Fox, Nick Hendricks. We had a lovely class, and then in our year generally it was Celine Hisley, Daisy May Cooper was in our class.
Are you ever tempted to do like a Peter's Friends kind of thing? Get a lot of the people that you were in class with,
Yeah,
which
it'd be
you
fun.
will have a natural historical chemistry with, in something like a gang show kind of thing.
What was that New York iconic film? The Gang? No. What was that film? Gangs.
Well, I only mean a gang show in the sense of you're all in it.
Yeah, we should. I mean, yeah. It's funny, like the university, like school, everyone goes and lives their lives and then you don't see each other for 15
Maybe
years.
that's it. That's where you are now and that's where you were then. And
It's funny, I did Graham Norton with Cynthia, the show, and I hadn't seen her for years, and because you go through this crazy kind of journey together when you're at drama school. So I saw her, having not seen her for a decade, but we went through what is like crude therapy for a year and cried and laughed, and so it's nice. Yeah, you do have this bond, and James and I. The best thing was being able to call James up and say, "Do you want to come and go on this mad thing with me?" And so that's the best part of being the producer is.
all right, sorry, and this is I know we're going on here, but Aisling B was on the show yesterday.
Love Aisling.
She enjoyed a very similar call from Nick. He wrote the film yesterday. Nick Frost.
Yeah.
Right, Nick. So Nick Frost wrote this horror film. By the way, she's in a film called Getaway, which is out tomorrow on Sky, and it's described as a folk horror comedy. And on the way home yesterday, I thought, it's not the Rocky Horror Show, it's the folky horror show. And I just wish I'd come up with that during the interview, but that's interview's regret, so that's one thing. So she
I get to experience it. I get to enjoy that joke. Yeah, brilliant.
She gets the call from Nick Frost. Would you like to be in this? Yeah, she says yes. James, I presume, says yes to you.
Yeah.
You have me at hello. that kind of thing. But then how do you divvy out the negotiation to the fee? Because you're his mate and she's Nick's mate. How do you get on with that?
Well, no, I mean, I wish it was James said yes straight away. What is would you be interested in reading the script and seeing what you feel?
So it's a bit more.
Yeah. He reads it and then he's like, I think it's great, and then the conversations happen. But it was exactly.
So it doesn't get uncomfortable.
No.
Even though you're the producer and all this kind of stuff.
No, and that's where Kitty is brilliant because she steps in and does,
she's
really the boss.
Let's leave it to those guys and we'll just go and make the stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I just wondered. I thought, that's all great, but because there's that lovely phrase, don't ever do. You know this. Never do mates rates. Do you know this?
No.
Free or full charge. If you really love them, do it for free. Otherwise, it's full charge. Don't get caught in the muddy waters of mates rates.
Interesting. I mean, mates rates would never happen in our world of TV and film. I love the idea of an agent going, go on, give us mates rates. Rates. But that's interesting as a philosophy on life. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're caught between rock and a hard place here, aren't we? Because we could play half a tune, half an hour can't, or we could just chat a bit more to the end of the show. Should we just chat a bit more? I can give you another plug. Playing Nice continues episode 3 this Sunday, 9 p.m. on my ITV. I binged yesterday afternoon. What have you binged recently?
Oh my gosh.
Have you Yellowstoned?
I have not Yellowstoned. I finished Presumed Innocent
Couple?
recently.
Which one?
Presumed Innocent, the Jake Gyllenhaal.
I haven't seen that one.
It was hard to binge. It was a little, but it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
I'm right now, actually. Do you know what I'm watching? Again, this is going back to the producing thing. Sorry to talk about me.
No, I love it.
We're watching this historical epic. We're doing this 8-hour about the Hastings. You watch every cut over and over again. So I'm watching now. Currently, we're editing the score and the grade. So I'm just watching myself, and every episode I watch about 20 times. It's the weirdest binge I've ever done.
Yeah, well, I go home and re-listen to the show most of the rest of the day. Yeah, of course. Thank you, James. Linda from Air says, please tell James Norton that a sign of good drama is when I feel compelled to shout at the TV from all the injustice and strong characters that you believe are real. I am hoarse from shouting at your show, and I'm Scottish. Scottish horse, good. And Yvonne Kettering, good morning, Chris and the gang. My daughter completed her degree at Falmouth University 8 years ago and was presented with a certificate by Dawn French, complete with a large chocolate coin. This coin has lived in the fridge ever since, and God forbid anyone eats it.
Love it.
There you go. James Norton, let's hear it for James Norton, everyone. Woo! Have a great Thursday. We'll see you Friday.